We pointed out earlier this week that the Cowboys assistant coaches were having their contracts expire. All but 4 members of the staff, including Coach Mike McCarthy, had contracts that were going bye-bye. Now 5 of those assistant coaches going bye-bye, not coming back next year. Senior defensive assistant George Edwards, running backs coach Skip Peete, offensive line coach Joe Philbin, the former Dolphins head coach, assistant defensive line coach Leon Lett. You may remember him from that Dolphins Cowboys Thanksgiving game from 1993, and
or
also
the Super
assistant
Bowl
head coach Rob Davis.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make the argument, not you, I'm saying generally, the argument has been made. Mike McCarthy, why should be on the hot seat? They've won back-to-back, they've had back-to-back 12-win seasons. I knew I would eventually get it right. Back-to-back 12-win seasons. Why would you fire him? Okay, fine. Why would you fire 5 members of his staff? Well, they weren't fired. Their contracts expired, and they weren't given new contracts. It's the same damn thing. Your services are no longer required. Please pack your shit and leave. That's what those 5 assistants are being told. I can't reconcile keeping McCarthy and dumping 5 members of his staff. Feels like a half measure to me.
I would agree with you there. It does have the feel of like, hey, head coach, I'm okay with you, but there's some things I didn't like, and I'd like you got to make some changes on the staff. These areas got to improve. Right, that's what it does feel like. I mean, it is. It's kind of surprising, and to the point you're making here, a 12-win team, played a team that we look at as Super Bowl caliber and played them to the finish, and had their quarterback really make 2 horrible mistakes in the game, and big reason they lost it. Yeah, I feel like you don't usually see these kind of aggressive moves, after a season like that. I'm with you. It has the feel of like, hey, you better shake some things up here. Or maybe I'll shake you up out of town. That's what it does feel like a little bit.
Now, we would be remiss to not point out the possibility, because we don't know. Things happen behind the scenes all the time. What was happening behind the scenes a year ago? The Dolphins were trying to line up Sean Payton and Tom Brady. It was happening in this same time frame, and nobody had any idea it was going on because you don't advertise that it's happening. I say that because consider the circumstantial evidence. 5 members of the staff out. There hasn't been an affirmative postseason, yes, Mike McCarthy's coming back statement. There was the Jerry Jones heat of the moment. This doesn't change how I feel about McCarthy. Then you've got Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones cancel their radio appearances. When has Jerry Jones ever turned down the chance to talk? When? Has it ever happened? No.
That's
My
shocking.
point is this.
Yeah.
My point is this. You don't just fire Mike McCarthy. If you're Jerry Jones, you don't just fire Mike McCarthy and say, I'll go find a better coach. You're going to move on from McCarthy if you know who you're going to get. So you need to know that you're going to get who you want to get before you move on from the guy that you've currently got. And coincidentally, all of a sudden, it feels like the air has come out of the Sean Payton balloon with Arizona, Denver, Carolina, Houston. I mean, we wouldn't know that, for example, if this is happening, the Cowboys are trying to work out a deal with the Saints for Sean Payton. Jerry Jones is trying to work out a deal with Sean Payton for how much he would pay him. And all that's in motion before you pull the pin on the Mike McCarthy grenade. Because that's how it would go. You're not giving up the bird in the hand until you know you're getting the 2 in the bush. If we can't get Payton, we're keeping McCarthy. But we're not just going to fire McCarthy and enter this arena of interview this guy, interview that guy, interview that guy, interview that guy, and we're going to find a coach and hope it works. So this is all circumstantial evidence, and it may be ultimately evidence of nothing. But we know from history and experience, stuff goes on behind the curtain. 4 years ago, it was going on behind the curtain where Jones was trying to get Sean Payton then, and it fell apart. And we never knew about it until Playmakers came out last year. So we don't know what's happening. But we do know that 5 coaches from a team that won 12 games in back-to-back years have been asked to leave. There's something weird about that.
There is.
Because it should be good enough to continue. If 12-5 and 12-5 should be good enough to keep your staff in place.
I would think so, yes. And again, as long as the Sean Payton situation hovers over the NFL and he's not linked to a team, unfortunately for Mike McCarthy and his family and everybody, this is going to be a constant conversation here. It is because of, the knowledge of what you've said, that we know there was, some things being put in place behind the scenes already with the Saints and Sean Payton. And Sean Payton worked for the Cowboys, and there's always been a love affair, it seems like, between Jerry Jones and Sean Payton. And we've both heard, through the rumorville of people we know in the NFL, that Sean Payton has always kind of had his eye on the Cowboys a little bit. So there's just all of that. It's not really fair to Mike McCarthy. That's the nature of the beast. He's done a very good job the last 2 years. He has. We just talked about that they exceeded expectations. But you got a guy in Jerry who's getting old, and he's getting antsy. And he's never been one to pay the coach when they've been fired, but maybe he's getting to the point here where he's getting antsy, and he would do that. And that's why we're talking about this, and it just all seems a little peculiar to your point.
It's Leon Hess. Leon Hess put it as bluntly as possible. I'm not going to live forever. I want to win. And we saw how upset Jerry Jones was after that game. You pointed it out. It looked like he was ready to cry after they lost to the 49ers. I can't believe they actually convinced themselves they had a chance to win that game. But you know what? They did. That's what makes it hurt. It hurts worse to lose by 7 with 2 opportunities in the final 3 minutes to tie the game and maybe win it with a 2-pointer. It hurts more to have that happen than to lose 38-7.
Yeah.
Because at least when you lose 38-7, you've had 3 hours to get accustomed to your fate. So, yeah, it was tough. It was difficult. And you can't take it with you. I think Jerry understands that. And he's got a lot of it to leave behind. His kids are taken care of. Their kids are taken care of. Their kids are taken care of. Their kids are taken care of. So... we got to pay Mike McCarthy to not coach the team. So what? We got to pay Sean Payton $20 to $25 million a year to come coach the Cowboys. So what? It's all a write-off. And if you want to get back to the NFC Championship, I mean, it's not even about winning the Super Bowl at this point. It's about just getting back to a damn NFC Championship in Jerry Jones' lifetime. If I was him, I mean, there's a lot of things I would do if I was him that probably would make the team even worse. But I would definitely be considering what it's going to take to get this team to the next level, because what they're doing now, Chris, isn't working.
Well, okay. All right, good. Well, I mean, I know we're going to take a break, but so, like, would you do it? Would you go see Mike McCarthy?
I'd do it.
You would?
I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it. I would hire Sean Payton. I would line it up. I would work out the best deal I could with the Saints, and I'd pay Sean Payton $20 million a year. And I'd say, let's take this thing next level. Let's come in here and let's button these things up. Let's take care of these details. Let's have real plays ready for these final moments of the games. Not some stupid-ass quarterback draw that doesn't take into account that the umpire can't teleport through 2 bodies. Not this crazy-ass Ezekiel Elliott playing center like it's Sandlot football and he gets his ass blasted onto the ground and they don't even get a chance. They don't even get a chance. A Stanford band playing that doesn't even get a chance to – you don't even get a chance to start the tuba. Or the trombone, the slide. You don't even get a chance to slide the trombone on the Stanford band. It's just done.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would do it. But again, Cowboys fans everywhere. For as frustrated as you may be that Jerry Jones is the guy making the decisions, it could be worse. It could be me making the decision. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.